Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Jayam Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevai Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 13, the ecstatic dancing of the Lord at Rath Yatra. Text 154 onwards. Rakhite tomar jivan sevi ami narayan tara shakti asi niti niti tomba sane krida kari niti jaye yadupuri taha tumi mana mor surati. You are my most dear, and I know that in my absence you cannot live for a moment. Just to keep you living, I worship Lord Narayan. By his merciful potency, I come to Vrindavan every day to enjoy pastimes with you. Then I return to Dwarka. Thus, you can always feel my presence here in Vrindavan. मोर भाग्य मो विषय तोमार जे प्रेम है सही प्रेम परम प्रबला लुकाया माने संग कराय तोमा सने prakatete ani besat satvara. Our loving affairs are more powerful because of my good fortune in receiving Narayan's grace. This allows me to come there unseen by others. I hope that very soon I'll be visible to everyone. So Krishna has two kinds of presence, prakat and aprakat, manifest and unmanifest. These are identical for the sincere devotee. Even if Krishna is not physically present, the devotee's constant absorption in the affairs of Krishna makes him always present. This is confirmed in Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochane. Due to his intense love, the pure devotee always sees Lord Krishna present within his heart. All glories to Govinda, the primeval personality of God. When Krishna is not manifest before the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they are always absorbed in thoughts of him. Therefore, even though at that time Krishna was living in Dwarka, he was simultaneously present before all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This was his aprakat presence. Devotees who are always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna will soon see Krishna face to face without a doubt. In other words, devotees who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness and are fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna certainly return home back to Godhead. They then see Krishna directly, face to face, talk with him, and enjoy his company. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Tyakta Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mameti. So the idea is to be always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, whether thoughts of Krishna, whether thinking of service of Krishna, thinking of his holy name, thinking of his pastimes, thinking of his devotees, all the same. And thinking how? Thinking favorably. Thinking favorably to serve them, serve Krishna. Because during his lifetime, a pure devotee is always speaking of Krishna and engaging in his service. As soon as he gives up his body, he immediately returns to Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna is personally present. He then meets Krishna directly. This is successful human life. This is the meaning of Prakatate Anive Sattva. The pure devotee will soon see the personal manifestation of Lord Shri Krishna. Yadvera Vipaksha Yata Dushta Kansa Paksha Taha Ami Kailu Sabakshaya Ache Dui Chari Jan Taha Mari Vrindavan Ailama Ami Janiha Nishchaya. I have already killed all the mischievous demons who are enemies of the Yadu dynasty, and I have also killed Kansa and his allies. But there are 2 or 4 demons still living. I want to kill them, and after doing so, I shall very soon return to Vrindavan. Please know this for certain. Just as Krishna does not take a step away from Vrindavan, Krishna's devotees also does not like to leave Vrindavan. However, when he has to tend to Krishna's business, he leaves Vrindavan. After finishing his mission, a pure devotee returns home, back to Vrindavan, back to Godhead. Krishna assured Radharani that after killing the demons outside Vrindavan, he would return. I'm coming back very soon, he said. He promised, as soon as I've killed the few remaining demons. Sei Shatru Gana Haite Vraja Jana Rakite Rahi Raje Udasina Haya Yeva Stri Putra Dhane Kari Raja Avarane Yadu Ganer Santosha Lagiya. I wish to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan from the attacks of my enemies. That is why I remain in my kingdom. Otherwise, I'm indifferent to my royal position. Whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain in the kingdom are only for the satisfaction of the Yadus. So his heart is always in Vrindavan. In fact, this in Bhagavatam we read. It was in Bhagavatam or some other place where he was always talking, even in his sleep, he was speaking the names of Radharani and the gopis. And the queens would wonder what exactly happened in Vrindavan. And actually, this is the reason of the pastime of appearance of Lord Jagannath, appearance of form of Lord Jagannath. Because they could not understand what happened in Vrindavan. That he cannot forget Vrindavan. Even in his sleep, he cannot forget. So they didn't know what happened. All the queens of Dwarka. So Rohini Mata, Mother Rohini, was the only one who was in Vrindavan, and then she was the only one who shifted to Mathura and then to Dwarka. So Mother Rohini said, well, I can tell you his pastimes. So she gathered all the queens in a room, but then she said, if Krishna and Balaram, if they even get a hint or a wind of these pastimes, they will come running and they'll come and disturb us. So Subhadra said, well, it's okay. I'll stand at the door and I'll block them if they come here. I'll stop them from coming inside. So you carry on. So Mother Rohini started speaking of the pastimes of Krishna, Balaram, and Padma, especially the childhood pastimes and all the naughtiness they had. And Krishna Balaram, they were doing their work. They were in Sudharma Hall or some place in Dwarka. And they realized, oh, Mother Rohini is speaking of our pastimes. And they came running. They came running, but Subhadra was there at the middle of the door. They stood on either side of Subhadra. And they were listening to their own pastimes. And they were so absorbed that their eyes became big. And in the ecstasy, the hands shrunk, the legs shrunk. And Subhadra was in so much of ecstasy, her hands just completely disappeared. It shrank inside. And Narad Muni, he is always at the right time, at the right place. So he was passing by and he saw this form and he prayed to the Lord that we have to have this form somewhere. Then Krishna assured him, yes, people will worship me as Jagannath, that this form will be of Jagannath. So this is the beauty or sweetness of Krishna's pastime, that he always remembers the inhabitants of Vrindavan, always. And that's why I say I'm indifferent to my royal position. Whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain in the kingdom are only for the satisfaction of the Yadus. তোমার যে প্রেম গুণ করে আমা আকর্ষণ আনিবে আমা দিন দশ বিশে पुनः आसी वृंदावने व्रजवधु तोमशने Vilasiva Rajani Divase. Your loving qualities always attract me to Vrindavan. Indeed, they will bring me back within 10 or 20 days. And when I return, I shall enjoy both day and night with you and all the damsels of Rajbhumi. Etatare kahi Krishna vraje jaite satrishna eka shloka padi shunaila. Sei shloka shuni radha khandila sakala badha Krishna prapte pratiti haila. While speaking to Srimati Radharani, Krishna became very anxious to return to Vrindavan. He made her listen to a verse which banished all her difficulties and which assured her that she would again attain Krishna. So this is the verse. Mai bhaktir hi bhutanam amritatvaye kalpate. Dishtaya yad asin mat sneho bhavati nam mad apana. Lord Shri Krishna said, devotional service unto me is the only way to attain me. My dear gopis, whatever love and affection you have attained for me by good fortune is the only reason for my returning to you. So whatever love and affection you have attained from me by good fortune is the only reason for me, for my returning to you. And in fact, if remember during Ras Lila, when Krishna left all the gopis and he left Radharani also, and the gopis were in complete separation from him. And in that separation, they were enacting Krishna's pastimes and thinking of him, crying. And then Krishna appeared. The reason he gave was to increase their love, their affection for him. So devotional service unto me and the level of devotional service of the gopis is unmatched. Nobody can match that. यही सब अर्थ प्रभु स्वरूपेर साने रात्रि दिने घरे वशी करे आस्वादाने. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sit in his room with Swarup Damodar and taste the topics of these verses day and night. Nitya kale sahi bhave avishta haya shloka padi nache jagannatha mukha chaya. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced completely absorbed in ecstatic emotion. While looking at the face of Lord Jagannath, he danced and recited these verses. Swarup Gosair Bhagyana Jai Varnana Prabhu Te Avishta Yara Kaya Vakyam. No one can describe the good fortune of Swarup Damodar Goswami, for he is always absorbed in the service of the Lord with his body, mind, and words. Swarupera Indriya Prabhur Nijendriya Gana Avishtahaya Kare Gana Swadana. The senses of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were identical with the senses of Swarup. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to become fully absorbed in tasting the singing of Swarup Damodar. Bhave Raveshe Prabhu Bhumite Vashiya Tarjanite Bhume Like Adho Mukha Haya. In emotional ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sometimes sit on the ground and looking down would write on the ground with his finger. Angulite kshat habe jani damodara bhai nij kare nivaraye prabhukara. Fearing that the Lord would injure his finger by writing in this way, Swarup Damodar checked him with his own hand. Prabhur bhavana rupa swarupera gana jabe jai rasataha kare murtiman. Swarup Damodar used to sing exactly according to the ecstatic emotion of the Lord. Whenever a particular mellow was being tasted by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar would personify it by singing. So whenever a particular mellow or the mood was being tasted by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar would personify it by singing. Can you imagine? श्री जगन्नाथेर देखे श्रीमुख कमल, ताहार ऊपर सुंदर नयन जुगाल. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked upon the beautiful lotus-like face and eyes of Lord Jagannath. Surera kirane mukh kare jhalmala, malya vastra divya alankar parimala. Lord Jagannath was garlanded, dressed with nice garments and adorned with beautiful ornaments. His face was glittering from the rays of sunshine, and the entire atmosphere was fragrant. प्रभुर हृदय आनंद सिंधु उठलीला उन्माद झंझावात तत्क्षणे उठीला. An ocean of transcendental bliss expanded in the heart of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and symptoms of madness immediately intensified like a hurricane. आनंदोन्मादे उठाए भावे रतरंग, नाना भाव सैन्य उपजिला युद्ध रंग. The madness of transcendental bliss created waves of various emotions.
Okay.
The madness of transcendental bliss created waves of various emotions. The emotions appeared like opposing soldiers staging a fight. Opposing soldiers means on one side the emotions, the other soldiers are trying to suppress those emotions because he had to be composed. It's crazy. Bhavoday bhav shanti sandhi shabalya shanchari satvika sthayi swabhava prabalya. There was an increase in all the natural emotional symptoms. Thus they were awakening emotions, peacefulness, joint, mixed, transcendental and prevalent emotions, and impetuses for emotion. Prabhur sharir jena shuddha hema chala, bhava pushpa dhruma tahe pushpita sakala. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body appeared like a transcendental Himalayan mountain, bearing ecstatic emotional flower trees, all of them blooming. देखिते आकर्षय सबार चित्तमान, प्रेमामृत वृष्टे प्रभु सिंचे सबार मान. The sight of all these symptoms attracted everyone's mind and consciousness. Indeed, the Lord sprinkled everyone's mind with the nectar of transcendental love of Godhead. Jagannath sevak jat rajpatra gana, yatri kaloka nila chalavasi yat jan. He sprinkled the minds of the servants of Lord Jagannath, the government officers, the pilgrim visitors, the general populace, and all the residents of Jagannath Puri. प्रभुर नित्य प्रेम देखी है चमत्कार, कृष्ण प्रेम उच्चा लीला हृदय सवार. Upon seeing the dancing and ecstatic love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became astonished. In their hearts, they became infatuated with love of Krishna. प्रेमे नाचे गाए लोक करे कोलाहल, प्रभुर नृत्य देखी सबे आनंद विवाल. Everyone danced and chanted in ecstatic love, and great noise resounded. Everyone was overwhelmed with transcendental bliss just to see the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyar ki kai Jagannath haladhara, Prabhu nritya dekhi sukhe chalila manthara. Apart from the others, even Lord Jagannath and Lord Balram, with great happiness, began to move very slowly upon seeing the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kabu sukhe nitya rang dekhe rath rakhi, seko tuk jay dekhila, sei tar sakshi. Lord Jagannath and Lord Balram sometimes stopped the car and happily observed Lord Chaitanya's dancing. Anyone who was able to see them stop and watch the dancing bore witness to their pastimes. हे मत प्रभु नित्य करिते भ्रमिते, प्रताप रुद्रेर आगे लागीला पड़ीते. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and wandering in this way, he fell down in front of Maharaj Prataparudra. संभ्रमे प्रताप रुद्र प्रभु के धरीला तहा के देखीते प्रभु बाह्य ज्ञान हईला. Maharaj Pratap Rudra picked the Lord up with great respect, but upon seeing the king, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his external senses. He gave the mercy to Maharaj Pratap Rudra and let him touch his body, let him pick him up. But because others were there, so he got up. And let's see what he said. Raja dekhi Mahaprabhu karen dhikara chichi vishayira sparsha hailaha amar. Upon seeing the king, upon seeing the king, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu condemned himself, saying, "Oh, how pitiful it is that I have touched a person who is interested in mundane affairs." Aveshete Nityananda Nahaila Savadhane Kashishwara Govinda Chila Anyasthane. Not even Lord Nityanand Prabhu, Kashishwar or Govinda took care of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he fell down. Nityanand was in great ecstasy and Kashishwara and Govinda were elsewhere. यद्यपि राजार देखी हाड़ी रसेवान प्रसन्न हया चितारे मिली बारे मान. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already been satisfied by king's behavior, for the king had accepted the service of a sweeper for Lord Jagannath. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually desired to see the king. तथापि आपन गणे करिते सावधान बाये किछु रोषाभास कैला भगवान. However, just to warn his personal associates, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu externally expressed feelings of anger. So when Maharaj Pratap Rudra asked to see the Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately refused, saying that I cannot because it's not right for a sannyasi. The word Nishkinchanasya refers to a person who has finished his material activities. Such a person can begin to execute his activities in Krishna consciousness to cross over the ocean of nations. It is very dangerous for such a person to have intimate relationships with mundane people or to become intimately related with women. This formality is to be observed by anyone who is serious about going back home, back to Godhead. To teach his personal associates these principles, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expressed external anger when touched by the king. Since Lord was very much satisfied with the humble behavior of the king, he intentionally allowed the king to touch him, but externally he expressed anger just to warn his personal associates. Oh, okay, I guess we can stop here. Let's see anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri